Guitar Sessions, this is Rod. We're going to talk about capos today, what a capo does, why you want one. First of all, if you're an acoustic guitar player, tons of your favorite acoustic players use capos. Singers use them. They're a super useful tool for singers, so we can play our chords, our open sounding chords in any key. Okay, so some of the capos I have, I only have two present. This is a nice one that one of my students gave me. It's like a dolphin capo. All right. All right. So what do capos do? Capos, they shorten the length of your guitar. They change the pitch, the key that you're playing in. It is a instant transposer button. So if you were like a piano player and you had a transpose button on your piano or keyboard, electronic keyboard, that's essentially what this does. A lot of grief for guitar players that they're given. Some people give you a lot of grief for using a capo because if you know bar chords, you shouldn't, and that's BS. That is not the reason you use a capo. You don't use a capo. If you can play it as a bar chord, you play it as a bar chord. That's the right reason to do it. Now, when I say this, we write songs, we play other people's songs. The sound of the open chord is a thing that we like. So it might not be in perfect tune. Like, in other words, when you hear this, I just played that. That isn't the sound of them. You hear open strings. That is not the sound of a bar chord. And that is not the sound of struggle either. You can make it harder for yourself. I could go. Whatever. You know what I mean? You could make it harder for yourself, but why? That's not... If it's really hard, and it doesn't have to be, you're just being dumb. Don't be dumb. Capos are wonderful things. So they are a transposer thing, and singers and songwriters like it because there's a certain key that their voice is a spot in their range that this song is perfect for. That all the best qualities of their voice hits. So all they have to do is move it around to different frets. Now, is there rules for capos? And by the way, you don't have to get the dolphin capo. One of the capos that I also like is like this is a shub. I would also, the shub capos are great capos. I would also not buy the cheapest capo you can find online. Cheapest capo you can find online is probably $10. And they're not worth the money you spend on them. I say this because I made that mistake. All right, so do not buy the cheapest capo. I would say buy a shub. I would say spend $20 on a capo. If it's $20, it's probably going to be good. Shub capos, there's tension. We can adjust the tension on it. And some of the cheaper capos you can't adjust the tension, and it's like. It doesn't hold the strings down. So spend a little money. You don't have to spend $80 on a capo. Guitar is going to go out of tune regardless of what capo you buy. And that's another point to make. If you're doing this for real, the rule is put it as close to the nut, the capo as close to the nut as you can. So it's not in the middle of the fret, but close to the nut. If you put it close to the nut, it's more likely not to be out of tune as much. Now it's going to be a little bit out of tune. So the other thing is when you're using a capo, make sure you tune it a little bit. Just because you put a capo on doesn't mean the guitar is going to be in tune. Now it's in tune. capos. So capo is super useful. One really cool little trick. I learned this one from Bob Dylan. It's like a drop D capo. Now this is a rabbit hole. There's all kinds of people do all kinds of things with different kinds of capos, and you can check it out online, and maybe that can inspire me to come up with some really cool weirdo stuff that I can do in a future installment. But five strings. This is your open E. We're playing a D chord here. So anyway, this is Rod, Boomer Guitar Sessions. Use the capo. It is a device. It is the sound of that open chord is a desirable sound. You're not going to get that by playing bar chords. Don't use a capo if you're just too lazy to learn the bar chords. That is they do the naysayers do have a point there. All right, so learn your bar chords, but open chords, capos, beautiful. See you next time.
Hi, this is Rod from Boomer Guitar Sessions. I personally wanted to thank you for being part of our community. If you like what we're doing here and you want to see more of it, please hit the like, subscribe, and share. And this helps me spread my musical messages to all over the world. Thank you. I appreciate you. And always remember, you can do this.